Season 2 drops on the 28th of September 2022. If you didn't know, Season 2 for the Cycle Frontier has been announced and they've dropped a bit of a trailer towards it. I just thought we'd go through and see what's coming up. I'm going to say that I am excited, but not as excited as I could be. I feel like it's a little underwhelming, but otherwise we'll get into it and we'll see what you guys think.
Today, we're excited to reveal the scope of the Cycle Frontier's second season, where you'll get to explore the depths of Tharis Island. With Season 2, we add a third location to the game, Tharis Island.
Alright, well that's pretty cool. So we're getting a new map, and I'm thinking that maybe they're going to have the maps have similar categories to points of interest on the map. So for example, you've got your points of interest as hard, very hard, extreme. I feel like the maps are going to be ranked the same way in the end. So Bright Sands will be easy, then you'll have Crescent Falls as your hard, then this new map Tharis Island might be very hard, and then the next map might be extreme, and we'll just see where they go from there. But that's where I think it's going to be headed, and we'll see what they have to show us.
Tharis Island is intended to be the most challenging and tense map in the game so far, and is only unlocked after progressing to a certain point in your campaigns.
Oh, well, there you go. They just confirmed it. It's the toughest map so far, and you only get it by unlocking it through quests. Maybe they should have done that with Crescent Falls as well. But either way, it will help with the cheaters because they won't be able to get to the map without doing the quests.
With this map, we see Prospectors explore a remote island far off the coast from Bright Sands. Originally discovered and exploited by Howler years before the cycle hit, it hosts a number of abandoned faction bases, lush ravines, alien progenitor artifacts, and a labyrinthian cave system, large parts of which no faction or human ever even reached. Those...
Oh, hang on a second. What was that? It's a cool new item. Let's have a look at this. What was this? That's something new. What's that? Progenitor composite, a clearly alien material. The progenitors built their monuments on Fortuna 3 with this. Could possibly be used to build other things as well. So a new crafting material that is being used by the alien race that was on this planet before us to build stuff. I wonder if that's going to unlock new weapons.
Those who went too deep either lost their lives or came back mad. Now, 30 years later, you're invited to be among the first prospectors to uncover the secrets of Tharis Island and go deeper than any human before you. Compared to previous maps, Tharis Island puts larger focus on interior spaces, light and darkness, and hidden in its depths, a new in-match activity, which I don't want to spoil, but rather let players find, interact with, and ultimately figure out how it works on their own.
So that's pretty cool. Well, I think this might be a bit of a hint to it, but basically we're getting a new endgame mechanic. The other thing that gets me interested is that this map is going to be pretty dang scary if it's all close quarters and mostly indoors in the dark. I think it's going to be a very, very scary map for close quarters, but also a lot of fun because of that.
What we can say about the new activity, however, is that it in some way relates to combinations of perks being added to gear. This will have several impacts on the game, including having the best of an item within its category is no longer about just one thing. For example, having the best armor in the game won't just be about damage mitigation. Additionally, you'll be wanting to try to get your favorite combinations of perks, but also the highest stats of those perks on your favorite items. That's all we're gonna share for now, as we want to leave the actual discovery of these features up to the community.
I'm not sure I like that. So basically what I'm hearing is that they're going to be adding a sort of system similar to Destiny's where gear has different attributes and perks and stuff to enhance your playstyle. I just worry there's already a lot of balancing issues with the game as it is. Are they adding more content, more features that are going to create more balancing issues down the line? Some of these perks could be broken. What if a perk gives you reload speed and you get it maxed out and your reload speed is now almost instantaneous while you're running yellow gear? If you can land your shots, that makes you almost unkillable to anybody. But, I don't know what the perks are going to be. I don't know what's going to come out to counter it. There might be a perk that each perk counters another perk, a rock, paper, scissors type format. That might work, but I'm just really concerned about the balancing. How are they going to balance this when they're already having difficulties balancing the gear at the moment?
With Season 2, we're also adding new campaign missions. Tharis Island is unlocked by progressing in the existing campaigns, but we're also adding new branches for each faction that guide you through the map, exposing players to more and more challenging content. Each faction has their own reason for being interested in Tharis Island, and you'll get to explore those as you uncover the history and secrets of its underground tunnels. We're also going back and iterating on the main campaigns, adding variety with new mission types and conditions. What we want to be is a game that asks you to overcome increasingly difficult and different types of challenges, rather than grind over repetitive tasks that you've already mastered, and we'll be improving this over time.
Okay, that sounds good. I am a bit sick of stashing items and killing creatures. So, if we can get some more variety in the campaign missions, I'm all for that. One thing I found interesting just there was that it seems like there's going to be a branch of the campaign that is specifically for Tharis Island and what's going on there. A little bit more of the lore and what is actually valuable about Tharis Island. Why do the factions want to be there? Why do the players want to be there? So I think that's a really cool thing to do. I'm interested to see how the branches play out, whether they are truly unique to each faction or whether they're going to be very similar again.
With the new season comes a brand new Season Pass. We hope to take what we've learned from Season 1 and deliver an improved Season 2 pass with more unique cosmetics to unlock, more relevant gameplay rewards, and better balanced progression. With Season 2, we are finally adding a much requested feature, the ability to reconnect to a server without losing your gear.
Oh,
For any reason,
thank God, we needed this so bad. This is the most silliest thing. Why would you launch without a reconnect button in a game like this? Thank you.
Connected or crash from the game. We know that this has been requested by a lot of you, and while it took some time, we're happy to finally be adding it to the game.
Finally adding it to the game.
We're adding some pretty big pieces of content with Season 2, but we're also improving the core game, and here our number one priority is anti-cheat. We don't want to be a game where your experience is regularly damaged by cheaters, and this is an ongoing fight. I don't want to give too much detail away here, but with the major season patch comes big updates and tweaks to our anti-cheat measures that overall should result in cheating being more difficult, annoying, and costly to do than during Season 1. We hope that these updates, together with the recently added compensation system, result in significantly less cheating overall, but also that it's less damaging to your experience when it does happen.
So, basically, they're just going to keep working on anti-cheat, which is a no-brainer. Compensation's going to be improved, again, a no-brainer.
We're also working on implementing ping restrictions, which will limit the ability to hop on servers outside of your intended region. We hope that this will lead to two things: less laggy players on any server, and added difficulty for cheaters to make the lives of law-abiding prospectors harder on whatever region they please. This is a feature we hope to add to the game soon after the launch of Season 2. Note that you'll still be able to squad up with friends from outside of your own region.
So again, look, I'm really nervous about this change because if you don't know, basically a lot of us OCE players, whether you realise it or not, can't connect to an OCE server. So we're actually playing on US West and Hong Kong servers, and that means we get a lot of lag, a lot of desync, and a lot of like no reg on your bullets and stuff. I've done a lot of research into this, and I might make a video on it, or I probably will make a video on it. But from what I can tell, it's either impossible to connect to the OCE server or it doesn't exist. Now, I'm probably not going to have a lot of fans on that comment, but that's just what my research leads me to believe. And when I VPN to Singapore is when I have the best experience playing the game. I'm worried that the ping limit is going to be too low, and therefore I won't be able to VPN to Singapore to actually play the game. And playing the game on what they think is OCE servers is nearly impossible because of the amount of hackers and desync. We're actually playing on about 150 ping according to my research. OCE might not be able to play at all.
A number of fixes and quality of life improvements, such as sorting in the cell screen or showing stack sizes in shop. You can expect more quality of life improvements to get implemented as the season is live, including things like the ability to bookmark and track recipes or bulk buying gear from shops.
Bulk buying gear and bookmarking items for crafts. Just nice little quality of life changes. They're not essential, but with a game like this where you're doing a lot of micromanagement and that, they are pretty essential to make the game feel smooth and flowy.
Balancing. While we want low-tier players to be able to take down a well-equipped player if they play smart and skillfully, we also want each step in armor tiers to actually matter. We feel that this hasn't quite been the case with epic and exotic armor during Season 1, and we have retuned weapons and armor to address this.
You think at one point blue armor was worth it more than purple armor, red armor, yellow armor, every armor, because of the cost to craft and the protection given. The purple armor wasn't good enough to justify the extra resources. Neither was the red or the yellow. They were only basically one more shot extra damage that they protect you from, which is kind of ridiculous considering you've gone up 3 tiers there and you've only gotten an extra shot or 2. So balancing is very much needed, and this is why I'm a bit worried about their changes to the gear with the perk system or whatever they're teasing, the endgame content mechanic, because they can't get the balancing right on the armor at the moment. So we'll see how they go. It might be better next season, I'm not sure, but I'm just a bit cautious.
As always, keep the feedback on balancing coming. We see it as a constant dialogue with our players. Those are the main additions and changes for Season 2. But what about the future? To not give too much away, some of the features we're looking to add in the upcoming seasons include tactical gear built for specific playstyles, the Howler, a flying mini-boss that roams Fortuna 3.
Ooh, a flying mini-boss. I'm a bit scared of flying enemies, I'm not gonna lie, but the Howler could be really cool. I'm scared of flying enemies just because I die to Striders all the time as it is. I don't need to die to a flying enemy as well.
New sci-fi guns, added to especially the mid part of progression. New maps that showcase.
Yes, we need way more guns. At the moment, it's ridiculous that we don't have a blue SMG. We don't have many bolties in the game. I feel like every gun at least should have 2 options at every tier so that you have a choice at every tier. 2 green ARs, 2 green SMGs, 2 green bolties, 2 green DMRs, 2 green shotguns. And that way everyone has a good choice throughout each tier instead of just being like, oh, we're going to run something and a bolty. Because that's most of what the early game is pretty much, or mid game. And we need to get away from that. And one way I think is to give more options in the tiers to the guns.
Wilder parts of Fortuna 3, further PvE enemies, as well as new dungeons, clan systems, and more.
New dungeons is something I'm looking forward to.
Let us know in chat what features you'd like to see next and why. That's all for now. We can't wait to start exploring the depths of Tharis Island together with you on September 28th.
Wretch, we're wretch, we're the wretch. We pray at night, we stalk at night, we're the wretch.